Hey there, I'm Alex, a QA engineer with a passion for both product quality and automation. In this video, I want to walk you through my journey in IT, what I do, what I've built, and where I'm headed. Consider this a video CV. Maybe this video will inspire you to not be afraid and step into the light. Fun fact number one. As a kid, I used to collect bugs while working with my parents in the garden. And I used to make pipelines out of plastic bottles, put those bugs in there, and just observe them. Yeah, sounds cringe, doesn't it? Still a fact. So let's rewind a bit. I started out with a love for tech and systems, working in customer and technical support. And naturally, my curiosity has led me into the QA. I didn't just want to test products. I wanted to understand how they work, how to break them, and how to make them better. From day one, I was hands-on, diving into manual testing, analyzing flows, finding bugs that others have missed. But I didn't stop there. I've experienced multiple domains so far, with some of them being EdTech, formerly known as online education, cybersecurity, e-commerce, no-code mobile apps sandbox, clean and renewable energy, and also gaming media, with IGN being my top achievement to date. I mean, come on, being able to improve quality in a company whose YouTube channel has almost 19 million subscribers, well, I think that's an achievement in itself. And fun fact number two, technical issues seem to, follow me around wherever I go. Like, for example, when I was setting up to film this video, my microphone went off, or when I'm the cashier in the grocery store or in the post office, their internal systems seem to start lagging, or their Wi-Fi or internet connection goes off, or their POS terminal starts rejecting payments and stuff. And of course, like whenever I visit any, let's say, e-store online web page, I either cannot sign in or the password recovery procedure is not. Yeah, by the way, my camera just went down, so just like I said, technical issues seem to follow me around.
All right, so here I am on one of the Ukrainian online retail shops or stores. I'm trying to purchase the gamepad Sony PlayStation DualSense controller, and this is gonna be a demonstration of something that I would call the UX issue, like more of a bad user experience, or what I consider to be a bad user experience in such types of stores. Let me just quickly translate this page first to English. So here we got the recipient details. I'm just gonna fill my last name, first name, and middle name, and all that other stuff as well. And now pay attention to what happens when I decide, imagine that a user has filled this data, and then he sees that this city is not like his city of residence, right? Let me just change the city. Let's select Kiev, for example. And as you can see, all the values in the recipient data, they are dropped. They are not persistent. The fields are empty.
Just like I said, technical issues seem to follow me around. As soon as I got solid with manual QA, I knew that automation was the next logical step for me to take. So naturally, I taught myself scripting, starting with JavaScript and later TypeScript. And I started building robust automation frameworks from scratch, using various tools available on the web. Tools like Playwright, like Cypress and WebDriver.io became my daily drivers. I use GitHub Actions and GitLab pipelines, rarely Jenkins and TeamCity, and even more rarely Azure pipelines for building CI/CD process. YAML, Bash, yeah, add that to the list as well. And I can generate code based on some predefined logic, say using various AI tools. But it's not just about the code. I care deeply about each project I work with and the entire product lifecycle, from understanding business goals to ensuring that what ships makes our end users or customers happy and keeps them satisfied. And that is where I really thrive, at the intersection of tech and business. So right now I manage both manual and automation testing, acting as sort of a quality gate for the fast-paced teams. I make sure that everything works and works as expected. Now, let's spice up a little bit and let my AI version take the scene for a moment.
Over the years, I've worked on a variety of products, from web platforms to complex apps with multi-layered APIs, and each one taught me something new. One of the projects I'm most proud of involved setting up a custom Playwright test framework from scratch. Together with DevOps, we integrated it with AWS S3 buckets for reporting, hooked it into GitHub Actions for smooth nightly and on-demand CI, sending Slack alerts via webhooks based on the run results, and built a workflow where manual testing basically became the backup plan. That was the moment I saw how powerful full automation could be. I've also handled testing where I dissected complex GraphQL queries and mutations, as well as REST requests like a surgeon. In one case, we were dealing with flaky tests and inconsistent environments. I built a retry logic and normalization layer for AWS CloudWatch log verification using pure TypeScript that saved us hours of debugging each week, and all of this while still being the guy who spots the bugs before they even appear. Just kidding, shifting left, nothing more.
Day to day I run with a lean and powerful stack. Playwright is my to-go, fast, reliable, and I know it inside and out. I've also used Cypress and WebDriver.io frameworks, well, depending on the project stack. Among my other tools are Postman and Insomnia, which are mostly used for, let's say, semi-manual API testing. I've tested both REST API and GQL. And as you have probably guessed, I'm a big fan of the AI tools, such as ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, and Blackbox. And of course, not to mention that my AI avatar that you have just seen, I've used 11 Labs for voice cloning, and of course the Agile service to make my own digital avatar. So for automation scripting, JS and TS is my bread and butter. Bash scripting for environment setup, like data preparation or data cleanup process, you name it. What about the CI/CD? The primary service is GitHub Actions, GitHub Workflows. Then I've used GitLab pipelines, Azure pipelines. As I mentioned earlier, like rarely I use Jenkins and TeamCity. I've taken part in automating various systems and integrations, third-party application APIs, and so on. Some of them being Salesforce Sales, Segment Data Aggregator, Braze Marketing Tool, Railto, Snowflake SQL, Cloud Database Solutions, single-page apps based on Next.js, CRMs, CMSs, and various landing pages based on React and Vue. And I've worked with AWS too, specifically with the EventBridge, Lambda, and S3 buckets, as well as CloudWatch logs. And I don't just build stuff, for the sake of it. I build with the reusability and scalability and low maintenance in mind. So I can eventually move on to higher level roles without having to babysit every script, every test, without having to undergo this maintenance hell. Some people may call it laziness. I call it optimization. And look, I don't want to stay here forever like writing tests. My goal is now clear. I want to build systems that test themselves, maintain a clear automation framework, and free up my time to focus on some bigger picture stuff, like strategy, process optimization, even product decisions. I see myself in a leadership making role, where I can influence how quality is done across the company, where I can sort of shape teams, build smart pipelines, and create a culture where QA is not just an afterthought, so that it's kind of baked from day one. It's a part of, business core. And at the same time, I want freedom, because I love freedom. I want to manage automation, to the point where the system runs so smooth, that I barely have to interact with it. My dream setup? Several projects probably running purely on the inbuilt automation processes, while I keep, scaling tech and people. And beyond IT, yeah, I got several creative outlets too. Sometimes I produce music, video editing, like this one, for example. And keep myself gym fit. This helps me stay balanced and approach every task, every challenge with a creative mindset, rather than pure logic. Because I truly believe that you cannot build anything from the place of lack. You cannot create anything from the place of lack. And you can only do that from the place of abundance. So yeah, that's me. A QA engineer who codes, automates, and builds with creativity and intention. So if you're looking for somebody who can own quality, set up automation from scratch, and bring both technical skill and product sense to the table, let's talk. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next sprint.